Okay, so let's just quickly look at this time series object type. And so the TS function is used to create time series objects, and you put in the data, and you put in a start, and you put in an end. I think that's all we need to worry about right now. And let's look at the details. The function TS is used to create time series objects. These are vector or matrices with a class of TS, so it's a class of TS, and additional attributes which represent data which has been sampled at equispaced points of time. So sampled means that you're picking up data which at equispaced points in time, so like every minute or every hour, every day or whatever, but not like 1 minute, then 1 hour later, then 2 minutes later, then 8 minutes later. Not like that. Should be equispaced. Now, of course, the TS function has no way of knowing that you actually did it equispaced or not, but it's assuming that it was equispaced. And then it says if you put in a matrix, what will it do? But we're not going to put in a matrix, I don't think. And then the point is that once you've done that, the class TS has a number of methods which we can use. So once you create a time series object, then you can use these methods. So that's why we're doing this. So it says, in particular, arithmetic will attempt to align time series axes. Subsetting to extract subsets of a series can be used. Okay, so maybe we'll run into this, maybe we won't. I'm not sure. Now let's just look at some examples. So here's an example. So we're using the time series object, and the data we're just putting in is just data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's supposedly our time series. And then we set this function, the frequency. I forgot to mention, yeah, we need the frequency. And then we have the start. So that's all we have here. So let's try it and see what we get. Okay, so we get this. So what is it? Well, since it was 4, somehow it knew that it should call these quarters. Now, if it's not 4, it doesn't seem to do that, but if it's 4, it seems to call them quarters by default, maybe. And then it says start was 1959 2. So that means that it labels this as 1959, and then quarter 2, or the second entry here, is where we start. Okay, and then it just fills in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the end. Okay, now let's try the next print statement. So let's try this now. Which is different. So let's see what happens here. So now it's the same series, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10. But it says the frequency is 7. And I guess, I don't know, it just calls these P1, I don't know what these P stand for, but there are 7 of them. And then it says start at 12, 2. So that means this should be called 12. And there are 7 here, and then 7 here. So, and it says start at 2 from 12, so start here. And calendar equals true. So I'm not completely sure about this, but this one we can understand. And our example, this one here, we're just creating the time series. We're creating the start here, and it's got the year and month, and the frequency is 12, so we're going to have 12 of them, just like 12 months, in other words. And if we want to see the whole thing, we get that. And this is by month. Whoops. So you can see there's 12. And we started, I guess we didn't specify, or we started at the, I guess we must have started at the beginning in January. And so it goes all the way to here. starts here, there's 12, then the next one, and so on until we get to the end. So this is what we have now. Okay, now there are methods or functions that we can use because this is a time series object that we couldn't use otherwise. And way down at here, when we get to line 103 of our code, we're going to do some what we called Arima models, and a function called auto Arima, which we saw that vignette about, takes as its first argument the time series. So that's I guess the reason why we need to convert it to a time series, because this expects a time series. Let's check that. So that's in the forecast package, so first you need to load that. And then load it. And then let's see if we can find it. Oops, no, that's not going to do it. Then do help for auto Arima. And here it says it should be a time series. The argument for this should be a time series. So that's why we need to have a time series, because later we're going to model it using auto Arima, for example, which only accepts time series as its object. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing for the other 3 data sets that we want, or time series. This one. So this one is manufacturing new orders. Let's see if we can remember these names. DG order means manufacturing new orders. University of Michigan Index of Consumer Sentiment. University of Michigan Sentiment, Consumer Sentiment. Okay, see if we can remember that. And then we're going to get one more called New Homes Sold. Housing Starts. New, maybe. I don't know. Okay, anyway, we'll try and remember what this is also. So we can do exactly the same thing for all 4 of these to get all 4 of these time series. So I'll just copy this and load this in. Just getting them. And it got them all. And the graph over here changed to represent the latest one. Okay, next we're going to do this part. So let's stop this video and then we'll do this next.